much inspiration does it give you being on a card like this when you see like the main event between Joanna and Michelle? That's where you want to be, I assume, in your career, right? So does it kind of inspire you a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I think of all the reasons, like Michelle being a mom, like a main event being two women, women, it's good. In my weight class, so it's like really inspiring, and like I hope to be there and be pay-per-view event and all these things. So it's really, really inspiring.
How far away do you think you are from that at this point?
I think depending like how I win, if I win like good fight, if it's like very, head to head, maybe like 3 fights, hopefully, if I can keep winning and submitting and maybe knockouts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're starting to get ready to face the top of the division?
Yeah, well, before I was pregnant, I was, I think, 15 or 14 on the rank. So I had like just got into the ranking, but and obviously after the first I fell out. So I think after this fight, I'll jump into the ranking, hopefully. And then depends, I think maybe they have some good matchups, like 10 and 7 or something like that.
And how active are you looking to be now that you had the baby?
Pretty active, especially since my weight is good. I've always kind of like, I don't want to accept fights like last minute, but at the same time, I kind of think, hey, if I'm feeling good and training good and it's a good matchup, like they need someone to fight, maybe that will be something I can do. And maybe that helped me kind of on the speed fast track to the title.
I know it's still fresh, but do you think you'll have more kids at any point, or do you think that waits till after the career at this point?
Oh no! Probably after at least after the belt. I want to try and get the belt before I have another baby. But definitely have more kids in the future. It's such a blessing.
And how's your weight? Because we talked to you yesterday, and you were 118.
Yeah.
Pretty close to the mark.
Yeah,
Are you on weight now?
Yeah, I woke up this morning 117, so 1 more pound, like to 116 or 2 to 115. So feeling good. I'll do like a training today. I had a good breakfast and. I probably won't eat like too much now the rest of the day just to wake up tomorrow like good.
What is a good breakfast like for a fighter in fight week?
Like for me that I can eat, I had like a yogurt and fruit, granola, and I had a toast with a salmon, like a salmon on it, so a lox like salmon toast.
And how nice is it to being so close to the weight, during fight week? Because I know you've had struggles with the weight in the past. Does it change the entire dynamic of the fight week, being so close to the weight?
For sure. The only other fight was my fight in Invicta that I didn't have to do any sauna or anything. I just did like a cardio before the day before. But I was doing like hard cardio every single day. This fight I didn't, like, of course I did cardio, but not like that hard cardio before I go to bed. Today, like the whole fight camp at night, I was able to kind of rest, like swimming and stuff like that, but nothing like really just killing myself. And now to be here on fight week and I can do an interview and not be like, like my mouth is dry and all these things, it's great. It's really, really good.
Are you looking forward to, kind of silencing that narrative about the weight cut? Because coming out of the last fight, there was so much talking about that. And then, you make weight successfully and, that talk dies down moving forward.
Yeah, I think for sure, especially after the baby, like that will really okay. Like, I think it can be good and bad, actually, because I think they're going to say, oh, see, she wasn't focused before, and they're going to say, see, she really isn't a professional athlete because when she wants to, she can make weight, But every time I did make weight, I can promise I really wish I made weight. I was trying my hardest to make the weight, but I messed up, somewhere in the camp, or I ate too much one day or something, that in the end it wasn't coming off. So it's not that, like, now I'm more, like, I want it more or not. But definitely, I think the pregnancy helps me a lot. But I think we'll quiet a lot of people that. But I know that after they're going to always have critics, like, oh, but she, her striking isn't good or something, So I'm prepared for anything.
You look stunning today. Tell us about your outfit.
Outfit? Yeah, it's just a simple black dress. It's good to be able to fit in these good. I think black slims you, So have mom chest, So just trying to take care of everything.
How is it that your weight cut is so much easier a couple months or a few months after having given birth than a year or two ago when you weren't pregnant?
Yeah, I think that my first fight I ever did, I went straight to pro. I made weight. And then my second and third, I didn't. And then my fifth fight, I didn't. So I felt like every time I would make weight to 115, and I started to do the MMA style, that was lose a lot of water and all these things. Jiu-jitsu, we don't lose weight like that. You know, we wait, and then we go straight to the mats to fight. So there's not all that water cutting. Every time I would come back to like my regular weight, I would gain like a little bit more. You know, so okay, I'd walk around 130. The next time, go 130 to 135, and then it would be a little bit harder to lose. Like my body kind of held on. And then the next time I'd make weight, I would go to like 135 to 140, and just kept getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And each time harder and harder, my body would just hold on, hold on. So I feel like the whole pregnancy, I lost a lot of muscle. Like I wish I didn't lose so much muscle, but I lost a lot of fat too. And I feel like kind of just started a base and a new foundation. And now I kind of start from zero, and I start to build the muscle again. And obviously get fat too, but on the right places and the right amounts.
Did you find yourself a little quicker on your feet this fight camp, seeing as that you weren't carrying as much weight?
For sure, definitely. Like the first maybe 2 weeks back, I was slow, like because I still had kind of that a little bit baby weight and just kind of more. I felt like I wasn't so toned and everything. But as soon as like started to do the strength training, was getting me back. I feel so much more faster and kind of sharper. You know, I'm not a striker, but I feel like almost Muhammad Ali when I strike.
You posted a picture with Michelle Watterson, I believe yesterday. Did you get to talk to her, and did she share any tips on how to like manage an MMA career while also being a mom?
Yeah, we talk a lot. Was 2 days ago I took the picture, and so there on the workouts we were talking, and then to the open workouts we were in the same bus together. She was just saying like, yeah, it's so much fun. We didn't. I'm gonna ask her about that. Like about the career and the family. I just where her daughter is. Her daughter's at home because of school. So I started thinking like, oh yeah, my daughter's gonna be in school too. One day. So she's just giving me lots of advice, saying, man, it's such a blessing. Like it helped her too. A lot, and that we're so much stronger. So it's something that I think not that people who don't have kids aren't strong. But it's just a different type of strength. Like. Your quit button is like way down there now.
And ADCC recently went down. I'm curious, is your grappling career on hold now that you're doing MMA and you have to split your time between other martial arts, or do you plan on retaking that in the future?
No, definitely want to go back. I actually wanted to do the ADCC this year because I didn't know if the UFC, like as soon as I started talking I had to go to the PI, the Institute, for them to clear me for this fight. So they were kind of talking like they didn't want to clear me, and I was kind of like, getting frustrated again. And I was like, I want to do the ADCC kind of to get me back in there. I was ADCC champion 2015. But then I got cleared. I said, okay, between ADCC and like UFC, I prefer the UFC. And I was pregnant kind of the time when they were calling people, for the ADCC. So I didn't want to ask like, hey, can I have my invite or something like that? Why I still had a baby in my belly, So I waited to talk to my baby was born, and then the UFC was like, okay, we have a date for you. I said, okay. But definitely like 2021, if I don't have a fight, I would like to fight the ADCC. And I think even between that, some super fights, they have lots of super fights events, maybe even the Worlds again.
Tomorrow you go up against another fellow Brazilian. Would it be a little bit sweeter of a victory to score maybe a submission with both of you having the backgrounds that you do?
No, I mean, I think I have the kind of not the pressure, but like people kind of expect me, if anything, to get a submission, because she's a black belt too, but it's different, like I've never seen her on the IBJJF like tournaments, any world championships that I fought. So not that she's a real black belt and everything, but it's a different like competitive level. So I think like her, it's probably more expected to do some judo throws on me, because she's a judo black belt, and me, people expect if anyone's gonna submit, more me to submit her, but I know for sure she's gonna have a good defense because she's a black belt, she's not like silly. But I think more just seeing the fans like, oh, my heart is torn in half, and it's like the first time that all my fans aren't all for me, like I know that they're my fans too, but they're split because it's two Brazilians.
And speaking of some athletes here in the Tampa Bay area, when they're new dads, they said that their perspective has changed on life because even if strike out 5 times or they throw 5 interceptions, when they go home, their son or daughter doesn't really care, their dad. Has your perspective changed now being a mom, where if you have a bad day of training, you can go home and it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, for sure. Like even my coach, he gets mad at me, he's like, man, We got like in an argument, the last couple of weeks. Like, man, you finish the training and you leave the academy, you go straight to the house. I said, yeah, because I just wanna. I did my training. I gave like my 100% here. I want to go home, be with my daughter. I don't want to be like hanging on the cat. Before I'd be okay hanging at the academy and talking and maybe gossiping or whatever. And now, as soon as I finish the training, okay, bye guys, and I go home and stay with my daughter, and she's just smiling, or even her crying, it's so cute, I say, oh.